I get a lot of questions. Anthony, Rhino Bucks, which formerly is called Rhino Coin, which, by the way, I call Rhino Coin all the time because I spent a year doing it, but it is Rhino Bucks. And for those that say, what's the conversion? It's 1-to-1. It's the same exact thing. In fact, Rhino Coin was never actually created. We always just referred to it as that so no one can rip us off or try to scam anyone by using Rhino Bucks until we actually debuted it, right? Okay. How does it work, Anthony? How does the numbers make sense? What is it? See, here's the thing. So many people ask me, okay, Ant, just give me like kind of the elevator pitch. Like, what is this? And I don't want to say it doesn't exist. I just haven't found it yet. It's like, if changing the world was so easy, everyone would do it. I'm not sure that it fits on a bumper sticker. But when I do figure it out, and actually, if anyone could actually just say, Anthony, I know what you're doing, bop, 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 I would love you forever. I'm still missing that sentence. So let's go through the math of it, and let's try to identify the value of it. Now, the goal has always been the same thing, wealth equality. And we've always identified that the inequality of wealth is due to, well, it doesn't matter what's due to, right? Like we could go down that whole story. But the obvious glaring thing was that population wasn't evenly distributed amongst wealth, or wealth amongst population. That you could have 1% that has 90% of the wealth, but the thing that they don't have is the population. So it comes to, well, how is that person worth like $1 trillion, and how is like 50% of people not worth that? What's going on? And when you scale it back, you realize that the wealth of anyone is completely derived on transactions. So I'm so wealthy because I have a bunch of people coming to my store and buying it, right? Like Walmart. If Walmart didn't have a customer, they'd be out of business tomorrow. Walmart does not hold the power. They hold the wealth because they hold the transactions. Therefore, it does not matter who you are valuable equally. So for instance, I'll do some transactions, you do some transactions, they do some transactions, and each one of us is worth something. Although we may not think it, because where is our transactions gaining any value? They don't. The only value you could go ahead and derive from transactions if you own a business. Then you could say, okay, you're valuable to me, you're valuable to me, you're valuable to me, because you're transacting with me. Like Facebook, for instance, they go ahead and give you a free product, but all the while they're just trying to, well, not trying, but they're calculating what the probability is of your behavior. So if you like basketballs and you like Michael Jordan and you live in Chicago and your favorite number is 23, they could accurately denote, or at least calculate, all right, this individual likes Michael Jordan, this individual likes basketball, so they can sell that data to people that would find that valuable, like basketball companies, right? And then they run ads to you. Facebook, Google, all of them are built strictly on the sense that they believe that they can sell data to other people that predict one's behavior. What's the point of predicting the behavior? What's the probability that that person's behavior is going to lead them to purchase? Transactions. So is it possible that any one person can be worth, say, 1 million times more than someone else? Is it possible that 1% can be worth more than 99% of the population? No, because by definition, they can't transact that many times. So it matters, how did they get that wealth? Well, they built a company, or they built some type of ecosystem that everyone is transacting to them, which is fine. But when it gets to the point that social media has allowed, where now if you have corporations and you have endless budgets with endless investors, you're now able to enter the living room, the kitchen of local community. Now, local community is not geared to be able to start competing with corporations. Local community, hey, there's the mom and pop, there's the mom and pop. Yeah, we don't really go to Walmart because we buy it from the general store. Yeah, we don't really go to Nike because we go to Lou's Shoes. That's fine, because Nike was never able to go ahead and identify so many data points on that person. Nike was never able to actually calculate and identify that you purchased from Lou's Shoes. The last shoe you purchased was $23. You lost your job. So now Nike can write you an ad. And again, this isn't directed at Nike. In fact, I think they're one of the best marketing companies. Just do it, right? So this is just broad. But they can write you an ad. Hey, the economy is hard. Did you lose your job? No reason you should spend so much for shoes. Buy here. And of course, they can undercut the price of them because they don't have any overhead as a general corporation. They don't have employees, they don't have this, they don't have that. They have literally just ad spend. And before you say Anthony, Nike has employees, well, they outsource a lot, so their employees aren't really paid as real employees, and they drop ship a lot. So, okay, you go over there, you make this. When we have a purchase for it, we'll take it over here. And now we're talking about Nike, but how about the millions of different median companies, right? Where it's like, all right, I have $1 million, I have $10 million, I'm running 10 ad accounts, I'm running 1,000 ad accounts, I'm looking at it. It's just not fair to local business. They're not, because it's, when you go ahead and undercut them, they lose the customer, they eventually go to business. When they go to business, it's not like they start over somewhere. The local community no longer has that business. It's been around for 100 years. The point is the soul of America, the soul of the person. Because if your local community loses all of its business and is replaced by corporations, what's left? You have corporation, you have government, and you have the people. So it's, and I find that that's not very sexy, right? Like Rhino Street was an offering that, and I've spoken to many of you, it just didn't have the immediate gratification, right? It didn't have the immediate gratification of that, Anthony, if I sign up to this, I save local community. So despite everyone's best intentions, right, your noblest intentions, if something doesn't go ahead and serve you immediately, it's not something of interest, and that's not supposed to sound bad. Everyone's life is busy. Everyone has limited resources by definition of what we've identified that we're looking to solve, right? So by definition, I can't go ahead and put on anyone and say, hey, listen, you need to do this. And by doing this, 5 years from now, you're going to see a difference. Because A, you have to believe it. B, you have to sacrifice for it. And C, what do you gain out of it, right? So the whole point in the Rhino pivot was that if we were able to go ahead with RHINOretirement and just launch it first, because it was always we were going to launch Rhino Street, then RHINOretirement. And that's the way it was, but the market says otherwise. If we could go ahead and launch RHINOretirement to get everyone making money, everyone in a position that they're making money, everyone in a position that we're offering universal income because we're giving you the opportunity to invest your transactions, 2-3%, whatever you want of it, into an asset that only goes up, meaning you can sell it at any point at a higher price. Well, now all of a sudden, hey, we're doing good. This is great. We want to go support more because Rhino Street is the asset that's going to back all of this. Now, mind you, you're the asset, right? If everyone agrees to go ahead and invest 2 or 3% of their transactions, that's community investing in community. Community is what values that investment. But you will have some people that say, Anthony, it's just people buying things and it's going higher. And then what if they stop buying it? Well, there's a couple of precautions against that. And that's not exactly, it's not all going to happen at once, right? And we've done the math on that. But secondly, okay, I get it. Well, that's what Rhino Street always was. If Google's worth $1.5 trillion as a global corporate search engine, what is the global local search engine worth? If you want to go global, use Google. If you want to go local, use Rhino. What's that worth? Well, if that's worth $1.5 trillion, that's going to be worth, I don't know, $1 billion, $100 billion, whatever that number you come up with. That's what backs the value of the coin plus community. They go hand in hand. So we kind of had to go about this in a backward stance, but that's the luxury that the Rhino community afforded all of us. It's not like, oh, there's Anthony, he's changing his mind again. No, we're all in this together. I'm showing you, or at least I'm stewarding where we need to go. I spend every day on the phone with everyone, so I know the general consensus and thoughts, right? So I've gone on long enough. Let's get to this, right? Okay. So there's 1 billion, I want to say Rhino coin, you know that, Rhino bucks. Okay. Now, I'm not sure everyone knows this, so I'm just going to say it. Some people won't be happy, but that's okay. Anyone that had less than 10,000 Rhino coin, we've rounded up to 10,000. And I have gotten some feedback on that. Anthony, these aren't your most ardent believers. Anthony, this isn't, and whatever, right? But also there's people there that were disqualified from purchasing a lot or investing a lot because they didn't have the finances for it. There's also people in there that dipped their toe in it, wanted to be a part of it, had kids, had families that weren't able to learn more. There are people in there that didn't really think much of us, got invited by a family member. And now that they see that they have a balance, that initial interest is now megaphones, right? And of all those people that were rounded up to 10,000, when we go ahead and launch next week at $1, now mind you, that coin, and we're going to explain it, isn't really available till November or December, but then the price of the coin is 150, 160. Those people that end up finding 15, 20,000 in their bank account before Christmas, do I believe those that are going to be loyal? Do I believe those are going to be those that are going to share the word? Do I believe those are the ones that say, hey, listen, I don't know who this rhino is, but they gave this to me. They really are doing the right thing. They could have kept it. You know what? I'm a believer. I want to go support them. A lot with Rhino is that we don't know what we don't know, but I'll always do the best and be the best to everyone, because I believe that people have opportunity that's beyond my comprehension. When people say, oh, you're lucky. First of all, they don't say that to me, because everyone knows if you say that to me, I'm going to hit you. And I don't hit anyone for anything, but that's the most offensive sentence. But when people say, oh, that person's lucky, no, they're not. They work hard and they're in the right place. No one just wakes up and falls into something. And if you're describing birth, those people end up losing it too, right? All right, so 1 billion, okay. Now, the reason I said that whole 10,000 thing for every person is, A, I want everyone to know that. But secondly, when you go ahead and add up the coin that's owned by investors and coin that's owned by members, you get around to, oh wait, that is 1 billion. Okay, you get around to 400 million. Meaning you have 600 million available to be purchased still. 400 million gone. It's already owned by people, which, by the way, of that 400 million, only 50 million of it was investors, because investors have to pay for stuff, right? The other 350 million is coin that we've given out to people. Now this 600, okay. So this 400 million, which we've said, we reserve the right that we're holding this back. We are not distributing this until the market makes sense. And of course, we're going to show you what that is, because it's not like, hey, Anthony, when is that going to be, right? Meaning this supply is over here. I don't know, it's locked up, right? It's how do you draw a lock? That's a horrible lock. I don't know. Hold on a sec. It's just, okay, it's off the market. It's over there. Now this 600 million is RHINOretirement. Okay. So now what is RHINOretirement? RHINOretirement is a weekly recurring investment. So you have the opportunity to do 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 100, and 500. And there's a lucky 77 in here. These are all the different plan amounts. They're weekly recurring, and you're not obligated to it, right? If you want to opt out, if you want to adjust low, if you want to adjust higher, that's fine. There's nothing ever about Rhino that says you have to do something, except the emails I'm sending out to get into the plan. You have to do that. Everything else is fine, right? If you want to pick a $1 plan, God knows. So these are the plan amounts. Now, the reason why we have a $1 is so that everyone can get in. The reason we have a $500 is so that, or the reason why we're capped at 500 is no one can own the market, right? I was talking to one of us earlier today, and I said, well, I shared the good news. We're at 6,400 of our $10,000 goal for the week. But I said to this individual, and I said, listen, if not all investments are made the same. If we have $6,500 because one person, well, now we're hostage to them. If that one person leaves, what do we do? But if we have $6,500, which we do across 145 rhinos, that equals roughly $53 per rhino per week, right? The point is, we want this RHINOretirement to be as broad-based, as grassroots as possible for many reasons. But the strongest team The strongest group, the strongest anything, is when you have a very large amount of people all believing in the same thing. Now, that's not to say like they drink Kool-Aid and they all believe the sky is green. No, do people believe that they should be treated fairly? Do people believe that the wealth inequality is disgusting? Do people believe that they're being taken advantage of? Yes. If you don't, then this probably isn't you, but that's what we believe. So the goal is to get to 10,000 a week. So we have 6,500 over 145 rhinos. If you run that pace, you need 174, which means we are 29 to go. We're negative 29 to what we need to be. So let's say we go ahead and, which I believe by this Friday, I just sent out another email, one more person got in. So actually two. So, okay. So let's say we need 27 more by Friday to equal 10,000 a week. And that will be over 174 people, right? Now, the goal doesn't mean where you stop. It just means that's the milestone that you know you can take the next step. So when we have 174 people of all different dollar amounts, but most basically $50 a week, do we believe $50 a week is an amount that would affect someone's standard of living? So that's actually, to most people, no. To some people, yes. $50 a week comes out to roughly like $210 a month. And at a time where people are cutting back on spending, that ends up being a lot. How many people have done the $1 though? I think we have like 17. How many people did the $5? I think like 31. The most popular choices are 20 to 25. The 500, I think we have 6 people. The 100, I think we have 10 people. But there's representation all across the spectrum. So 50 is an average. There's many at 1, there's some at 5. You get the point. Now, what we want to do is grow this number larger and larger and larger. So why do we want that number larger? Because these are automated purchases, right? So RHINOretirement. So it's automated at market weekly investments. So this is Rhino bucks, this is the coin, and this is the price, right? So because we have the 400 million locked up, what's able to be sold on the market? Nothing. Nobody has any coin to sell. Now we have 100 and let's just use a round number. Let's say we get 175 at 50. I think that probably comes out to 10,000. If it doesn't, that's the number I'm going with, right? So we have $10,000 in buying of Rhino bucks every week. Now this coin is available to be sold. So the 400 million that's to the investors isn't coming on the market until the market dictates, right? So that's over there. But this coin of RHINOretirement is liquid and is in your account by next week, right? So we launched the 21st, which we moved back from tomorrow a week. So the 21st. This will be in your account. So there's 10,000 a week to purchase, and that means there's 10,000 a week to sell. So the price will be $1. But Anthony, you said you were going to raise the price 1 cent every single day. The price was going to increase. Yes. Well, this is 10 to 10. This divided equals 1. How does that work out? Here's the beautiful thing about Rhino. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are great about Rhino, but because I'm only stewarding this for all of us, there is no part of this where it's like, okay, there's Anthony's bank account. No, the picture is so much bigger than that. So let me explain how that works. So this 10,000 that comes in goes into the Rhino bucks account. Now, what do I mean by that? The price is $1. This 10,000 goes in here and it says buy Rhino bucks at 99 cents. Now, can we agree that if you put in 10,000 and you sell 10,000, and I have the 10,000 ready to buy what you're selling, then it still equals 1, right? Okay, and let me just go over that again. You give me 10 bucks. I keep the 10 bucks, but I don't go spend it. You say, Anthony, I want to sell, give me my 10 bucks back. Oh, cool, I have it right here, I give it back to you. Did anything change? Nothing. You still kept the price, right? In any other walk of life, this 10,000 comes in, it's gone. It's to the manager, it's to the company, it's to the whatever, not us. It's going in as a buy order for 99 cents. Why 99 cents? Because if any sell breaks this dollar, we as Rhino are prepared to purchase it and not let it go under this price. We will buy as much as possible to bring it back to the dollar. Okay, well, Anthony, that can't work forever. You're right, it can't. So what about when we go to $1? Well, this equation doesn't work no more. If 10,000 buy and 10,000 sell, we can't keep it $1. 10 divided by 10 is only 1. Okay. What is the expectation? What is the reasonable expectation that every one of you that are getting in right now, this is off to the side. So nobody, anyone that bought coin at 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, that's off to the side. Anyone that bought coin in this, bought it at the $1. What do I reasonably believe that someone's going to buy at $1 and then sell it the same day at $1? Is that what I think is going to happen? No. So what's this actual equation look like in real life? Okay, so if 10,000 buy at $1 and the next day it's at $1, that's a 1% gain. I do believe there'll be those that say, you know what, let me just make sure this is liquid. Let's make sure that I could sell and the money comes in, because I don't ever want to trust anything too much, which to that person and to everyone, God bless, everyone should do that. So let's say, I don't know, 1,000 gets sold, right? So 1,000, I think I need a new marker, hold on. Let's use blue. Oh wait, hold on. All right, so let's say, and this is over the week, so let's say 1,000 sell for the week, right? Now, what does that equal? 10 divided by 1 equals $9. Well, how long is a week? 7 days, which means the end of the week, the coin's at $1.07. But 10,000 was bought and 1,000 was sold. That equals $9. Yeah, well, the coin's 107. Anthony, that's not really the price of the coin. The price of the coin is $9. Why are you holding it to 107? 2 reasons. One, these people need to get their money. So if 10,000 is being purchased and 1,000 is being sold, I have $9,000 available to go ahead and sell. Now that'll bring it back to $1. So what's 10,000 divided by what equals 107? It's probably something like, 8,500. Let's just go with that for the purposes of the example, which means I can go ahead and make liquid $8,500 to these people, our original investors, and say, okay, everyone, here's your portion of what is able to be sold right now. Now, do I believe they're all going to sell that? I don't know, but everyone's able to do what they want. I'm not going to tell anyone, here's coin, don't sell it. It's yours. Do whatever you want with it. Okay. So that happens. Now, what happened with the coin all week? It went up. It went up every day. In fact, we supported it. In fact, and also this is quite important. Every day we're going to publish these numbers because the point is to go ahead and inspire confidence in the market, but not confidence as much as transparency. We want to show everyone what's going on. So let me show you what that looks like, and then you can tell me if that's something you would buy. Okay. So remember RHINOretirement, they're scheduled purchases. We know what the purchases are. We know what's scheduled to be purchased because you're on a recurring plan, which means when we hit 10,000, which we will hit by the end of the week, but let's say we never do. By the way, we're at 6,800 now. Let's say we end up at 7,000. We know that there's 7,000 coming in. How valuable is that? Well, here's how valuable it is. So this is what we published. Week of, what's next week? What's today? 13th. So it's 20th next Tuesday. So the 19th is Monday. Week of 9/19. We have, let's say, 7,500 planned, not planned. Why am I being silly? 7,500 scheduled to buy. Okay. Now what's to sell? Well, assuming that we've been doing this long enough, because this will start becoming a trailing 6-week average, right? So the last 6 weeks, there's been an average of 1,500 sold every week. So we're going to estimate 1,500 scheduled to sell. Well, when you divide this up, you equal 6. 7,500 divided by 1,500 equals $6. Okay. The price of the coin is 108. Well, Anthony, $6 is higher than 108. Yes, I know. How are we keeping it here? Because Rhino has this 400 plus the 600 million minus this. So Rhino basically has 1 billion coin. And of course, it's lower and lower as this is purchased. But if $7,500 isn't going to shake 1 billion, which means if anyone steps into this market and starts buying like crazy, we're the ones that are going to sell it to them. Oh, you want to buy at 108 because you think it's worth 6 or because you know it's worth 6? Here's more, here's more, here's more. Eventually, we're going to exhaust this buyer because we have 1 billion. Where does that money go? The money that comes in goes to this, because remember, the money that comes in goes to the Rhino Bucks account, meaning the more money, the more actual dollars that go here, the USD, equals how much more the coin we could unlock. I don't know, whatever that looks like, right? We could unlock, which means everyone that owns coin up here will get our email. We released an additional 1% of your coin to you, which means everyone here can then go to the market and sell it for whatever price they want. It doesn't matter. Here's where it starts getting cool though. So you kind of understand the mechanics of it. We know the buys, we know the sells. We're going to tell everyone it. So everyone's going to know this price, see this price. And what's that person going to do? They're going to buy, probably not going to sell, because why would you? Here's where it gets fun. So RHINOretirement, all the people that are buying are getting into, well, not all of them, because you can buy it on the market. But we're going to push everyone into RHINOretirement because it's weekly transactions. It's scheduled, which means the higher the scheduling is, the higher this number is. That's the number that matters. We want everyone to be scheduled transactions so that we could go to the market and say, oh, next week we have 100 million scheduled to be purchased. Next week we have 200 million scheduled to be purchased. Do you know what happens to a price of something when everyone knows 200 million is coming in to buy it? And here's the thing, it's at market price, which means it's going to buy it at whatever price it is on the market. So if you were looking to sell anything, oh, I got 200 million buying it and I can sell it at any price I want. Great, why wouldn't I? You would say, oh, well, Anthony, that's kind of yucky. Well, you're just making people buy any price they can. Well, yes, someone's going to buy it at that price, but what's the next person going to buy it at? The next price, the next price, the next price. What you'll soon realize is there's two things that are indefinite: time and numbers. And that's where the numbers are going. Because time is indefinite, it doesn't matter how much higher people buy things. It can always go higher because the time spent in buying it is indefinite. These are weekly, they're every single week. And because numbers are indefinite, there is no cap. It can just go to whatever number it wants. We're quite easily going to surpass Bitcoin in 2024, probably 2023. So where does it get fun? Let me show you. So first, what's a market order? Market order, buy at market, no matter the price. These are all scheduled to buy at market, no matter the price. And what was the other thing I wanted to do? I guess that's it. Buy at market, no matter the price. Okay. So now when the RHINOretirement numbers, right now we're shooting for 10,000, right? What about when they get to 20,000? What about when they get to 100,000? What about when they get to 1 million? Now, mind you, this is going to start moving quickly, because if $10,000 worth of people see they're making money, well, then that's going to attract others. It's going to attract others. Did you know Dogecoin because your friend built it? I don't think so. Did you know Shibu coin because your friend built it? I don't think so. Did you know Bitcoin because your friend built it? I don't think so. The reason you know those coins is because it attracted the attention of everyone, seeing that it just keeps going up. And eventually it crashes because it can't keep going up. You know why? Because they ran out of buyers. We're not looking to go from 1 to 100. We're looking to go to 1 to 101 to 102, 103. Because when you could stably increase, then you allow everyone to have managed expectations. But here's the part where it goes crazy. So, it goes to 1 million, goes to 10 million, whatever. RHINOretirement is scheduled to buy that much. At what price, what point is the 1 billion gone? This coin doesn't last forever. We got to put the 400 million in the market, like I demonstrated, but all of it together is 1 billion. It's a limited amount of coin, which means as that number gets smaller, I can't control the price anymore. I can control it long enough to get 1.01, 1.02, 1.1. I could do that. But how about when it's at like 350 and we're calculating, 500,000 to buy and only, 10,000 to sell, and the coin is worth $50. Well, what would make the coin worth 50? Very easy. This needs to go away. When Anthony can't control the market anymore because Anthony ran out of coin, this goes to that, which means the more people realize that we are running out of coin, which we're going to publish every day. We have 700 million coin, we have 699 million coin, we have 698 million coin, we have 650 million coin. When people see that I'm running out of coin and I can't keep controlling the market by selling and selling and selling, how about when Rhino's down to 20 million coin and the price of the coin is 350, but the real price is 50? Do you think there's not going to be, funds or groups of people that say, yo, let's just put all of our money together. We'll send this through the roof right now. And that's when it gets out of my hands, because you got to remember, all of these people, the whole thing it's built on, RHINOretirement, is people that have scheduled purchases at market order. So when this goes from 350 to say 50, what happens to these people? Do they say, 50, too rich for my blood? No, they're buying it no matter what the price is, because they're just going to keep buying and buying and buying. So if you own it at 50, do you sell it at 50 knowing you have $1 million, 2 million, 10 million coming in to buy? I don't think so. Well, if you don't sell it, who are they buying it from? They're buying it from someone willing to sell. How do they get that person to sell? All right. And this is automated, right? This just goes to the market. What are you willing to sell it for? The people that have it are like, I'll sell it for 75. Okay, sold. Oh, wow. I'll sell it for 70. Okay, sold. Because they're going to buy it no matter what. Which means RHINOretirement is the engine that allows this to continue. And when someone says, well, man, you just kind of created the most crazy, run something up and have a crash landing because it's backed by nothing. No, each one of these, everyone here is a small transaction. No one's over $500, which means these are people literally investing 2 to 3% of their transactions, finally investing in themselves. This price equals what they're worth, because this price is dictated by them. They're the ones buying it. It's their money. This price is the market price of what this group is worth. And how does this group recoup its money? They can sell it any time. They can sell it at that price. Now, okay, Ant, there it is. I knew we were going to get to it, and you finally got to it. And here it is, right? The part you didn't want to tell anyone. That when this group sells, you crash. Yeah, actually that would happen if this group was one person. This group is not one person. This group is, by this point, when this all happens, this group is like tens of millions. Okay. How did these people crash it? Well, all simultaneously, they have to sell all of it. Well, actually, first they have to decide that money is bad because they're making money. So they have to decide they no longer want to make money. Then they have to decide to sell all of it. Then they have to also all opt out of Rhino Retirement. If they all do this at the same time, this will happen. Call me crazy, which people do all the time. I just don't think that's going to happen. But here's the cool part. This is where Rhino Street comes in. We talked about it. What's Rhino Street? Rhino Street was never as sexy as I wanted it to be for people to jump into it in the beginning. And the market shows that. I have like 700 listings and, it's a great idea. But when everyone, all tens of millions of these people are making money, loving. Now, by the way, does anyone think I'm going to disappear or my face is going to be everywhere? As we get larger, I'm going to be getting larger with it, right? Visiting towns, throwing events like this. Rhino will scale up. During this period of time, hey, everyone, let me get the proper colors. Hold on. Hey, everyone, if you like Rhino Retirement and you want to continue in Rhino Retirement, or you like us and you want to learn more of us, or any sentence you want to input there, you need to get into Rhino Street. What's Rhino Street? Well, we know what Rhino Street is. How do we get into Rhino Street? List yourself. Well, I don't own a company. Okay, well, do you work for something? List yourself. It's only your community that can find you, but we want this populated. This is local business. This is local community. Do you agree with local community? Do you not like local community? Of course I like local community. Then get in Rhino Street. When Rhino Street is the next step from everyone that we just changed their life and changed the world, and everyone knows who Rhino is, and Anthony's popular, and Elon Musk, who's not going to go into it? This is where they go. Well, what's Rhino Street? It's a fully coded, localized search engine that's global. I cannot tell you how much money it costs or how much work's into it or the emails and all the rest of it. But when this becomes populated with, say, 10 million, right? Let's take it easy, 10 million. No, you know what? 100 million. Because I can't imagine how that, when everyone, let's say 100 million, right? What is the world's localized search engine? Well, Anthony, it's not the world's. Okay, is there another localized search engine I don't know about that's global? Then it is, right? The world's localized search engine worth that's populated with 100 million that use it to search their own community first. Well, Ant, if Google's worth 1.5 trillion, I don't know, maybe a tenth of it, Ant. 150 billion. Okay, cool. I like that number. Rhino Bucks. What's it backed by? Oh, Ant, it's only backed by the people. What if everyone sells? Well, before any of these people decide to come up with this crazy concocted idea that makes absolutely no sense, Rhino Bucks is backed by this 150 billion asset. Anthony, couldn't you just take Rhino Street public? Why would you? You're basically giving it away for free. I know. I want this in-house backing this so that we effectively created the only universal income ever, because these people are never going to leave, because the value of this continues to increase as the globe continues to go to Rhino Street. Everyone in here is making money, so why would they ever leave? And it's just a different world after that. Well, and how is that universal income? Because no matter what price you buy Rhino Bucks at, it's going to go up, because this isn't stopping. And God forbid, right? So let's just talk about one more thing. Anthony, what if, right? Okay. We publish daily. Number of Rhino Retirement members. Now, mind you, we don't do this yet. This is going to start next week. Number of Rhino Retirement members, number of average plan, the amount, number of new members, plus or minus. That's an E, that's not a minus. Plus or minus. amount scheduled to buy, amount forecasted to be sold, fair market price. Oh, and eventually it'll be number of people on Rhino Street. Now, when you're able to see this every day, which I guess we're gonna have to, yeah, well, maybe we'll turn Rhino Bucks into this, like, because you're gonna have to go to it to see it. I don't think anyone wants to be hostage to if the email comes or not, right? Some people go spam, whatever. So we'll go ahead and make a site for this. But when you could go to this site every day and see, okay, wow, there's, you know, a lot of members, right? Oh, the average plan is actually under $25, which means everyone has such a small amount that no matter how bad life gets, this isn't going to be the first thing that they get rid of, right? Like if you have a limited income and you're giving $1,000 a week to something, that's what you're cutting first. If you have a limited income and you're giving $1 a week, you can, you know, that's not the first thing you cut. How many new members? Oh, they're, you know, 10% new members this week. Scheduled to buy, let's say 100 million. Scheduled to sell, 10. Fair price, $10. And Rhino Street has an increase of 50% membership, right? Whatever the numbers are, by giving you this every day, you're going to be able to calculate and think by yourself like a reasonable adult and say, no, this, and I'll have a commentary, right? Commentary, this week was great. We do see this number coming down. This is what we're going to do to solve it. This number is great. We're going to do this to raise it. These are the opportunities. When you have all that together, okay, I don't care what anyone says. I'm staying in this because I know what it is. Oh, whoa, this is starting to get, you know what? People are starting to leave it. The average is going up, so more people control it. Rhino Street hasn't seen a new member in God knows how long. I love Anthony, but I just think it's kind of like not doing what he wanted it to do, so let me get out. When we give you everything to make your own decision, then those that are in it are not in it because they're fooled, they're in it because they want to be. When somebody wants to be in something and they made a decision for themselves, how much more difficult is it for them to turn and go ahead and reverse that decision? Well, they're also in a decision that has weekly plans. They're opted in, so they have to reverse the decision, convince everyone else to reverse it, go ahead and sell all of their coin, and go ahead and all opt out simultaneously. So not to say it can't happen, but there's a lot of check and balances well before that, and well before that, you would know that it's happening just by looking at the numbers every day. And if anyone thinks that I would rosily write a commentary like, hey, everything's great, don't look at that number, you must have never met me before. So this is RHINOretirement. I hope I'm still alive. That would be really silly if I wasn't. Oh, cool. Still recording. No, I heard somebody message me on Facebook, and I was like, oh, the worst thing would be is all of a sudden this like shut off. So I can't read any comments. I hope this was okay. I did promise I was going to write a little more legible, and then it just kind of regressed. I love you all. Tomorrow is the Wednesday email. It comes out at 9 a.m. Wednesday emails are purely RHINOretirement. So you're going to get a little bit more of this, but more clearly, concise, thought through, written out, quite nice. Concise, quite nice. If anyone is not on RHINOretirement yet, I believe it's payments.rhinostreet.com. No, payment, no S, payment.rhinostreet.com. Or if you want to watch the video, I believe it's retirement. Let me just, maybe I could sign on over here. Hold on one second. Let's see if I could do this. So stay with me. I know you can hear me. Webinar. All right, I don't know. Why can't it let me join? I don't know. But payment, oh, actually, let me just find out what it is. Yeah, so retirement.rhinostreet.com. Retirement.rhinostreet.com will allow you to watch the 5-minute explainer video and then join. Payment.rhinostreet.com allows you just to join. If you're not in this, I've never said I need to anyone, but I need you to. Like, as you can see, this number matters. If you want to get in for $1, $5, no one's telling you the amount, but to not get in and say $1 too much is a lie, right? Like, I know that, so I'm offended. I need you to just get in. All right, everyone, absolutely love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.